Magic is an integral part of the Elder Scrolls universe. The very fabric of Nirn is shaped by magic, and its manipulation has been a key part of Tamrielic society for thousands of years.
But where lies the origin of magic, and how is it harnessed by the racers of Tamriel?
This is the question that we are going to be answering in today's video, and as you can tell, this isn't an ordinary lore video as you'll find on my channel. Today I'm joined by Zorkanov from the channel Imperial Knowledge, and we're going to be answering this question together.
To begin with, it's pivotal to understand why there is magic in Mundus in the first place. To understand this, we will need to go way back in time, all the way back to the creation of Mundus when the gods were constructing the mortal plane.
Fundamentally, Nirn was created by Magnus, who is the architect of that entire plane of existence. However, upon realization that the creation of this plane would require immense sacrifice on his own part and on the parts of the other Etarda, who are seen by many as gods, Magnus fled and the other Etarda followed him. In fleeing to Aetherius, Magnus tore open a hole in his wake, which we see as the sun. The Etarda respectively tore open holes of their own, the stars.
Through these holes in the fabric of Mundus, magica flows into the mortal plane. This magic, which can then be found all around us, is able to be channeled by the magicians of Tamriel to manifest their will.
It is theorized that magic itself is what remains of Magnus on the mortal plane after his escape, but other than this there is no knowledge of what exactly magic is, other than the fact that it is a pure energy form that is able to be harnessed by those with the will to use it. But what leads to some individuals being more proficient in the use of magic compared to others?
Although we can't really be sure, there are theories as to why this is actually the case. For example, the High Elves are seen as the most proficient mages in all of Tamriel, but it is theorized that this is simply the case considering the High Elves' general heightened intelligence and incredibly long lifespans, which many devote to magical study. Although this wouldn't explain their innate ability and the innate ability of many other individuals across Tamriel to use magic.
Another theory, however, states that since magic was first used on the continent of Oldmerus, the ancient Oldmer became very proficient in magic and intertwined it with their culture. This Oldmeri culture has been best preserved by the High Elves, or Altmer.
Therefore, the Altmer could have over the ages evolved into a more magically proficient race. Just like the Aldmer of Valenwood adapted to the forest and thus evolved into the Bosmer we know today. Another pillar supporting this theory is the magical proficiency of Snow Elves. Just like their High Elf brethren, they mostly preserved the magically focused Altmeri culture and thus also evolved into a more magically proficient race.
This theory could also shed some light on why Bretons have a higher aptitude in magic than the other races of men. They are Manma. They came to being as a crossing between the ancient Altmer and the ancient Needs. This means they too came into contact with ancient Oldmeri culture and adapted some of these cultural aspects into their own culture. There are more ways than one when it comes to harnessing magic, however. Some people have the skill to actually bind this ethereal power to their will without the use of any conventional magicka at all.
For example, the Psijics of Artium are individuals who are able to do exactly that. Through their philosophy and practice of the old ways, it is said that the Psijic order members are able to harness the power of nature and bind it to their will, absent the use of magicka, while it's still ultimately having the same effect. Another example could be the use of dragon shouts, which are an ancient form of magic that can be used without the consumption of magicka.
So it is clear that the magic that enters Nirn through Aetherius is accessible through various means, be it conventionally through accessing magicka reserves or unconventionally using practices such as the old ways. Another implementation of magic in Mundus is through the birth signs, which play a crucial role in all the lives of Nirn's inhabitants. When a person is born on a certain day, at a certain time, their birth will align with a certain constellation, which will afford them special magical attributes.
For example, the Atronach birth sign, which is prevalent in the 11th month, Sun's Dusk. This constellation emits certain magical energies which grant people born in that month with innate powers to at least partly absorb some magical spells cast against them.
Anyway guys, thanks for watching this special lore video. I've certainly enjoyed making it and there will definitely be more to come in the future.
The next lore video we will do together on my channel, so if you want to see more from the both of us then head over there.
Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.